Yeah, Governor Synder made that revealing comment this morning at an event here in Detroit.
He claims his staff kept him in the dark, basically, when it came to the water crisis in Flint. Let's bring in our consumer investigator, Hank Winchester, who has been spending a lot of time, of course, in Flint. Raised a lot of eyebrows today, Hank, with this.
It certainly did, because I think the question is, why would his staff want to leave the governor in the dark if it was such a big problem in Flint? You know, the governor now talking publicly about this, putting the blame on his own people, saying they did not reveal the real story to him until it was too late.
How could we have figured this out faster? What could we have done? The reality is you have to face the facts you have now.
Governor Synder talking Flint today, and the fact that he says his staff may have been holding back critical information.
I get a briefing on the night before telling me that there really isn't a problem in Flint, that these outside experts aren't correct. And I get on the call and I push them and they tell me it looks like there is a problem.
The date was September 28th, and the governor says he only found out about the serious problems in Flint after he pushed his staff to reveal more information. They did, and the huge problem was exposed.
You just wish something would have come up where I might ask another question or done something differently. To do broad characterizations like that, people have their opinions. My view now is it's happened, and I'm going to do all I can to repair the damage and work to build Flint into a better community.
But today, 7 months after the governor says he learned about lead in Flint, the water situation is still critical. Not safe to drink, many relying on bottled water. Another area where the governor says he failed to get information right away, the Legionnaire's outbreak. And today, new information released. 3 new cases reported, and of those 3, 2 of the victims have died. 91 cases altogether, and the investigation continues to determine if this spike is related to the water issues in Flint. As for the governor, he says he is focused on fixing the problem in that city.
This isn't just about getting up every day and saying I got to check some boxes. I want to do something, and we are doing stuff, and we need to do more.
Everybody agrees that more needs to be done, and funding is now making that possible. Millions of dollars now being directed to Flint to make sure that children have access to fresh food, fruits, and vegetables that will help those exposed to lead, especially children. Work continues to remove lead from many pipes, but as of today, people in Flint are still being told not to drink the water.
It's interesting. It does feel like a change in the narrative a little bit.
Yeah,
just a tweak, I guess. Yeah.
A tweak in his explanation of the timeline, saying that he was on the call with them and that he had to push them to get more information. So it begs the question, why weren't they providing that information to the governor? You would think they would want the governor to know there's lead in the water.
Yeah.
So to the bigger issue, as the governor says, let's fast forward to where they are right now. We have another round of test results coming soon.
We do. Tomorrow morning, Mark Edwards, who's been the lead on this from Virginia Tech, he's got a batch of samples. He'll be releasing those numbers tomorrow, and then we'll get more test results, we hope, from the EPA by the end of the week.
All right, Hank Winchester, I know you will stay.